Pack your bags and we'll take you around the world and back and inspire you to explore. We'll take you for a holiday in Dubai, Venice, New York and Munich, when Explore takes you on a journey to discover the delights of city life. If it's a big city adventure you're after, London is the perfect place to lose yourself in. Amongst the largest cities in Europe, it really does offer everything from the glitz and glamour of theatre to the bohemian delights of Covent Gardens. While in London, you can also experience a bit of history and culture at one of the museums such as the National Gallery, or by visiting some of London's historic landmarks like the famed Big Ben. It would be a crime to visit London and not take in a show, as Londoners are very passionate about the theatre. And what would a big city trip be without a visit to the famous London department store Harrods? Found in Knightsbridge, Harrods has gone beyond being a mere department store and has become a tourist destination in its own right. There is the extensive food halls on the ground floor where the rich and the famous get their groceries, not to mention the cosmetic counters and shoes areas stocked with designer labels. But if that's a little too upmarket for you, don't despair. London has more than enough to cater to everyone and their budgets. You could wander around the Borough Market, London's oldest food market, and pick up fresh flowers and fruit to snack on as you wander along the River Thames. Open Thursday, Friday and Saturday, it's one of the largest food markets in the world and is regarded by many to be one of the highest quality markets in the United Kingdom, selling a large variety of foods from all around the world. One of the most popular tourist spots in the city is Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, as you can get up close and personal with your favourite celebrities. The wax versions, of course. You can even take the Celebrity Love Match quiz to see if Brad Pitt really is your perfect partner. From football star David Beckham and wife Victoria to pop princess Kylie Minogue, you too can rub shoulders with celebrities. While Madame Tussauds provides an extremely enjoyable outing, be warned that the queue often exceeds 2 hours at peak times, so make sure you book in advance. You can even emulate the moves used by Jennifer Lopez and Beyoncé, as guests are taught dance moves and how to perform on stage. So if it's always been your intention to whisper sweet nothings into the ear of Jennifer Lopez, make sure you visit Madame Tussauds. The easiest mode of transportation around the city is the famous double-decker buses, as they take you past all the landmarks that make this city loved. Rather than piling into the normal fast food chains that dominate every street, London's variety of street cafes offer an array of different meals and provide a great meeting place if you're backpacking through London. Internet cafes are also found in abundance, so you can grab a bite to eat while emailing friends and family back home. London's traditional sites continue to draw in millions of tourists every year, and the city continues to charm all who visit. If you're planning a trip to London, here's some information that might be helpful. Your best chance of good weather is at the height of summer in July and August, but there's certainly no guarantee of sun even in those months. And don't leave without first catching a glimpse of Buckingham Palace and the Royal Guards. For those wanting the ultimate experience, how can you go past the city that never sleeps? New York. Whether you go for the exclusive shopping, phenomenal dining or the culture, New York City has something for everyone. One of the Big Apple's most popular tourist haunts is the Rockefeller Center in Manhattan, where you can ice skate, a quintessential New York City winter experience. On your way up to the observation deck, you can pass the crystal waterfall chandelier, which hangs down several stories in the stairwell. The history of the building is detailed through multimedia exhibits like this one. The newly opened observation deck is located on the 70th floor, and visitors can experience a unique 360-degree panorama of New York City, taking in most of the city's landmarks. The panoramic vantage point was reintroduced in 2005 to the people of New York and tourists from around the world after closing down in the mid-80s. The Empire State Building is arguably the most famous single skyscraper in the world and a signature along the New York City skyline.
There she is, the Empire State Building, 102 stories high, and it took only a little more than a year to build. Even the Chrysler Building looks like an Austin compared to the new giant.
Tired of staring up at New York City skyscrapers? Why not check out the view of New York City from atop the Empire State Building? It ranks 9th tallest in the world, and you can head up to the 86th floor observation deck, where city sounds fade to a distant hum, and the view on a good day extends west to Pennsylvania and as far north as Massachusetts. You can walk along Broadway and Times Square. The animated neon and television-style signage have long made it one of New York's iconic symbols and a symbol of the intensely urban Manhattan. No visit to New York City would be complete without seeing at least one Broadway musical production. For the past century, Times Square has been a mecca for music and the arts, and the shopping potential in the city is enough to send you bankrupt. One of the great pleasures New Yorkers and tourists enjoy is getting away from it all in Central Park. It's a popular destination for joggers, and you can spread a blanket and enjoy a picnic on the grass while throwing a football around. Central Park Zoo also stands out as a gem among New York City attractions. If a trip to the Big Apple is how you want to experience city life, jump on a plane and head over. You'll need to exchange your currency for US dollars and brush up on your English. And not that you can miss it, but don't forget to take a look at the Statue of Liberty. An enchanting city, Venice is one of the most unique places in the world. While not much has changed since 500 years ago, the romantic charm of Venice remains as strong as ever. There is no other place like Venice. Its splendid art and architecture, romantic waterways and poetic history make it one of a kind. The Basilica di San Marco and the Palazzo Ducale are two of Venice's many picturesque landmarks, demonstrating its once magnificent power and wealth. During daylight hours, the narrow canals, bridges and streets of Venice are crazy with tourists eager to experience the romance of this great travel destination. Venice is popular with travellers, and often the tourists outnumber the locals. As in anywhere else in the world, a tourist map will come in handy, but in Venice, keep in mind that getting lost is part of the game. There isn't a single thing in this city that will disappoint you, visually at least, and the more you wander, the more you'll see. Venice is world famous for its canals. If you want to tour the city's canals, then the most romantic way is by gondola. It costs around $55 US per person for 50 minutes for up to 5 people sharing. Although now a cliche, it's still a romantic way to get around Venice, and you get a different perspective of the city as the gondolas cut gracefully through the water. Take time to walk amongst the colourful mix of street stalls with tourist wares and fresh local fish for sale, as well as local produce and flowers. Venice is made up of more than 100 tiny islands closely packed around canals. For those who enjoy history, art and architecture, then this is the place for you, as Venice is steeped in all three, found in galleries, museums, churches and even on the islands around the city. It's a truly unique city that has canals instead of streets and water instead of traffic, and the absence of cars makes it a pleasant experience. After you've enjoyed a meal of pizza, pasta and gelati, you can sunbathe on Venice's sandy beaches and cool off in the clear turquoise waters. If a gondola is just too slow for you, try a private water taxi to take you directly to your destination. You can stand in line at one of the water taxi ranks or have the hotel call one for you. Every year, Venice holds a carnival for 10 days in late February or March. The waterfront is lit by torches at night as colourfully masked and costumed revellers overrun the city's ancient palaces and public squares. It's no wonder Venice is one of the most visited cities on the planet. You too can join in and enjoy 10 days of carnival festivities. All you need is a mask and away you go. Traditionally, the mask was used by important people who came to Venice in order to party incognito. Nowadays, tourists from all over the world arrive to do the same. If you want to experience the delights of Venice, why not head down to your local travel agent and book a holiday? The most popular way to approach Venice is by boat or train. Venice becomes extremely hot and humid in July and August, but peak season runs from April to October when the weather is generally temperate. A city full of life and culture, Oslo is packed with things to do and see. It has a list of world-class museums that gather Norway's rich cultural past and present, and no matter what time of year you visit, there is no shortage of outdoor attractions and activities around the city. What sets Oslo apart from other European cities is not so much its cultural traditions as its stunning natural scenery. How many other world capitals have subway services to forests and lakes with hiking trails, all within city limits? The Fram Museum should definitely be on your list of things to see, as it commemorates and celebrates famous Norwegian shipbuilders and explorers. The museum preserves the polar exploration ship Fram, which between 1893 and 1925 sailed further north and further south than any other surface vessel at the time. It provides a great deal of history about ships, shipbuilding and exploration in the early 20th century. Although Oslo has small population compared to other European capital cities, it retains a true vibrancy about it, and the city centre is filled with restaurants, bars, cafes and clubs. You can find nearly every type of cuisine in Oslo, from traditional Norwegian to sushi and Mexican, but local seafood is very popular with tourists. Oslo's public transport system consists of buses, trams and ferries, but if you're in the mood to explore this wonderful city, why not jump on a bike or just walk around? Another must-see is the Munch Museum, which presents the most comprehensive exhibition of artist Edvard Munch's works ever, with more than 800 objects on display. He bequeathed a large portion of his work to the city before his death in 1940, and this museum is the result. The architecture of the city is stunning, and local traffic isn't as heavy as that of other capital cities around the world. Oslo is also very conducive to a shopping trip or two. The city centre is marked by numerous areas featuring small boutiques and shopping streets with hundreds of small shops and retailers. Make sure to take along a camera to record not only the happy memories of your city life adventure, but also to remember the beautiful buildings and local parks that are filled with people looking to relax and have a good time. You can wander past the Royal Palace in Oslo, which is the official residence of the Norwegian monarch and his family. In late summer, you can take a public tour through the castle that lasts about an hour for only $15 US. If Oslo is where you want to head for a big city holiday, here's some information that may help you. You'll need to convert your money over to the Norwegian krone and make sure to brush up on your Norwegian. Peak season runs from June to September. When you think of Dubai, you immediately associate it with all year round sunshine, desert terrain, great shopping, and of course the amazing and modern architecture of the ever-increasing skyscraper hotel resorts. Dubai today is flashy, fun, and slightly surreal, and is renowned for its sand, sun, and shopping. Dubai really is a shopper's paradise. You can either barter the price for anything from electrical goods to designer fashions, or enjoy the more relaxed atmosphere in one of the many shopping malls or street shops. The Arabian Wildlife Centre is home to the world's largest collection of animals and birds indigenous to the Arabian Peninsula. Open Tuesday to Sunday, you can wander around and look at the different species on display, some on the verge of extinction. You can take a look at an Arabian leopard, one of the rarest animals in the world, as well as lizards, snakes, gazelles, rodents, foxes and baboons, with all animals displayed in safe, natural and spacious surroundings. Dubai will one day be home to what has been marketed as the world's 8th wonder, the Palm Island project. The largest artificial islands in the world, there are few who can afford the luxury of living on one of these 3 man-made islands. Commissioned in order to increase Dubai's tourism, between the 3 islands there will be over 100 luxury hotels and exclusive residential beachside villas and apartments. Marinas, water theme parks, restaurants and shopping malls will also be found. And for something completely different, welcome to Dubai's first indoor ski slope. Ski Dubai is the first indoor ski resort in the Middle East and offers an amazing snow setting to enjoy skiing, snowboarding and tobogganing. It has 5 runs that vary in difficulty, height and steepness, and skiers and snowboarders of all skill levels will enjoy these various slopes. You don't have to worry about ski clothing or equipment either. Ski Dubai has thought of it all and offers guests the use of winter clothing, ski and snowboard equipment. The Palm Island developers went to great lengths to ensure that Dubai's delicate environmental ecosystem wasn't harmed during the constructions of the Palm Island project. So now you can still snorkel or scuba dive around the wrecks off the coast and take in the underwater scenery. The colourful coral reefs are full of marine life, and these include moray eels, lionfish, turtles and barracuda. If the glitz and glamour of Dubai appeals to you, why not visit for the ultimate city life holiday? The best time of year to visit Dubai is between November and April, when the weather is coolest. The local currency is the dirham, and you must be able to speak Arabic. Munich, rivaled only by Berlin as Germany's most popular destination, offers travellers a wonderful insight into local culture, art and history. The surrounding countryside also offers fantastic scenery, from beautiful lakes to the majestic Alps. Be sure to stop by the Deutsches Museum, the world's largest museum of technology and science. Open 7 days a week, over 1 million visitors make the stop every year. The city is a haven for all sorts of culture, with a staggering array of museums, a vibrant art scene and the infamous revels of Oktoberfest. German cuisine is as diverse as the people themselves, and some of Munich's sophisticated eating places are amongst the finest in the world. In the traditional Munich cafes, you can sample Bavarian specialties such as crispy pork with sauerkraut or Weisswurst, a white veal sausage eaten with sweet mustard and pretzels. When you've had enough of hearty roast pork with dumplings, try some fine sauces and tender chicken breasts while relaxing in one of the restaurants or local street cafes. What would Munich be without the annual Oktoberfest? It's the ultimate celebration of food and beer at the world's largest festival, and it attracts over 5 million visitors each year. It's so much more than just an excuse to drink and be merry. The 16-day festival offers sideshows, carnival rides and other amusements. Despite its name, the festival actually begins in September, and horse-drawn carts deliver kegs ready for millions of people to drink. The festival is one of Germany's biggest tourist events, attracting visitors from all over the world, employing some 12,000 people and generating almost $1.13 billion for the local economy. Oktoberfest is very popular with young travellers and is a draw card for tourists who are looking for a good time. If you're lucky, you might even get to see colourfully dressed men, known as Schafflers, as they perform their traditional Bavarian dance. It's easy to get caught up in the crazy German traditions, as these people can attest to. The Munich Schafflers are between 30 and 50 years old and all have a deep love for Bavarian music. Munich truly is a city that's considered one of the world's most beautiful, and with scenes like this, it's easy to see why. If Munich is your perfect holiday destination, head down now and book a flight. By plane is the easiest way to access the beautiful country, and make sure you pack for a temperate climate. We hope you've enjoyed your journey through city life. Make sure you join us next time for another expedition on Explore.